Hey, it's Matt Webley here. Hope you're doing all right. So everybody can vibe code apps now. Everybody. I said about a year ago that this new vibe coding thing, I didn't like calling it that, but let's face it, that's what it's known as. But using AI to build software, which was brand new really a year ago-ish. I mean, it was a little bit before that, but essentially a year ago, nobody thought it was going to be a thing. I was on this channel saying it was going to be a thing, it's going to be a huge thing, and now the vast majority of top level coders don't write any code. They just overview, they nudge it in the right direction, laser show starting, and it's the good one. Hopefully I can just carry on here in downtown Dubai. It's not a green screen, it don't look real, does it? Wow, I didn't even time this like this. Amazing. Wow, lasers. Okay, I'm going to carry on. So nobody actually thought that vibe coding was going to be a thing. Devs were like salty about it, saying spaghetti code, AI is never going to take my job. And now the top coders in the world, for the top companies in the world, the tech companies and SaaS companies, are all using AI to build software, which means anybody, you included, can now build software. Now, what I want you to ignore is the noise around people, that was a quick one, around people saying SaaS is dead, SaaS this, SaaS that, SaaS this. Look, 1 year ago, you couldn't go into the SaaS world. You couldn't build a SaaS company because you didn't have ability to code or access to coders and the ability to pay them for years at a time before, and then still go to market with no customers. Still have to drive visibility and get customers. It was basically impossible for normal people to get into. Now, I've done over $13 million in software as a service in my spare time. And I can tell you, it's not a business for the faint-hearted. Pre-AI, but now with AI, literally anybody can do it. If your name is Sandra, you can do it. If your name is Gladys, you can do it. If your name is Gertrude, you can do it. If your name is Albert, you can do it. Anybody, young, old, dumb, smart, can build SaaS. Now, don't listen to the noise that says it's not worth building a SaaS business, SaaS is dead, blah, blah, blah. You've got to ignore that noise. Over a long enough time frame, bricklayers are dead, plumbers are dead, like admin assistants are dead, everybody's dead eventually. But that doesn't mean that you don't have 2-3 years whereby you could build a real SaaS business, vibe coded SaaS business on your own, and then compete with these big boys that have got 500 software engineers and they're still using manual coders. Maybe they're trying to encourage the workforce to start getting a bit AI, but essentially they're bloated companies with huge wage bills and they're just waiting to get disrupted. So don't think, oh, SaaS is not going to be here in 20 years time. No, it's not. But neither is your kitchen fitters. Neither are your taxi drivers. Neither are whatever you're doing right now. So stop looking at, oh, SaaS is dead. No, SaaS just came alive for you as a single person, non-technical person that wants to become a developer without any developing skills. The barriers to entry have been removed. Now, the problem is, and the problem has always been, that building SaaS is easy. 2 years ago, you couldn't do it, but now it's really actually easy and fun. So what's the new problem, Matt? The problem is building a SaaS business. Actually driving customers to your SaaS is seemingly, for all these vibe coders that I see online, almost impossible. For every one person that says, I'm making a bunch of money with my SaaS, there is literally 100,000, I've not counted them, but literally it's like this, 100,000 vibe coders, brand new AI SaaS developers or non-techie developers that have built software that's actually good. It works, it solves the problem, and they've got 0 or 1 or 2 customers, right? That's what we're facing now. So we've gone from can't get into the game, too expensive, takes too long, takes too big a skill set, high probability of failure for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, to anybody can do it. Albert, Gladys, anybody can build SaaS, but now everybody's looking for a push button solution to get customers, and there isn't one. AI can definitely make it easier for you to get customers. but you've still got to put the work in. You've still got to put the systems in place. You've still got to essentially push and build a business from scratch unless you have current assets that you can leverage, like an audience. If you have access to an audience and there's SaaS currently in the space that your audience is in and you build a SaaS, slam dunk, it's like taking candy off a baby. You're going to make an absolute fortune. It's a no-brainer. If you have an audience and there's existing SaaS products that your audience purchase, you create a SaaS product, launch it to that audience, you will get rich. You'll make a ton of money, no doubt about it. Or if you have access to an audience or audiences that fit the description, maybe they're not your audiences, same thing. Like if you can launch that audience with that audience owner's goodwill and willingness and say yes, then you can make an absolute fortune. Or there's another category, it's probably a few others, but you're getting, I'm hopefully giving you a point here. If you've already got a current client base, say you're an accountancy firm or you're a whatever firm and you've got 100 clients that are already paying you monthly, build a SaaS to solve a problem for those clients and you can have a ready-made customer base. You might not even have to sell it to them. You might not even have to pitch them on it. You might just be able to say, look, we're now moving over to this software, which is in our sister company, and we're going to add it to your invoice every month. If you don't want it, you can still use this software, whichever they were using before, but the price is a little bit more and it's not as good. And we really specialize on this because of X, Y, Z. You almost don't need to sell it. You can almost just switch them from whatever software you're charging them for now, say, your client base, if it's a recurring regular payment they pay you and they use some software as part of it. Like my accountant here in Dubai, I don't think I use any software, but I swear they charge me for like 3 pieces of software or something. Well, if I were them, I'd build a replacement for 1, 2, or all 3 of those pieces of software, and I'd just start billing me for access to that software instead of the software that they're already billing me for access to. So you could almost just switch out what your client base is using now and essentially create an overnight customer base. So there are some examples, there's some others, whereby you can get instant customers, you can make a fortune, no-brainer, slam dunk stuff. Like if you've got an audience, you've got an access to an audience, or you've got an existing client base, slam dunk, build a SaaS, launch it to them. It can be very soft. It could almost not even be a launch. Launch it to them. You'll make good money. Now, for everybody else or most other people, you're going to have to grind. You're going to have to spit and sawdust. You're going to have to fight for every client. That's the game, right? But it gets easier. Your first 10 customers are going to be the hardest. If you can get to 10 customers, then you can get to 100. Because as much as you think, oh, well, my friend in this WhatsApp group and my mate that I've met at this event, they'll be my customers. No, they probably won't. They probably won't. All the people you think will be your slam dunk customers, they won't even beta test it for you. They'll say they will, and then they won't even bloody do it, right? Your first 10 customers is going to be the hardest. If you can get 10 customers, you can get 100. If you can get 100, you can get 1,000. And trust me, getting to 1,000 customers is easier than getting to 100 customers. So mindset shift for you, right? You're gonna have to grind to get to 10, and you're probably gonna have to grind to get to 100. Now, this isn't forced to be a grind, and I wanna go into a strategy today that's leaning on what we've just talked about anyway in the video that can blow up your business overnight. We're talking 100 customers, 200 customers, 500 customers, potentially overnight, right? And that's one relationship with one gatekeeper. So let's say you're in 5 Facebook groups, you're in 3 school groups, you're in a couple of Discord servers, and basically you're a member of these communities, right? And you know there's active people in your niche in that community, right? Now you could think, right, I've built some SaaS, I'll just go make a post in that Facebook group or Discord server or school group or whatever, and I'll immediately get a bunch of people interested in customers. It doesn't really work like that, right? So yes, you have to access that audience, but if you do it unannounced, you'll probably just annoy the audience owner that's put blood, sweat, tears, and maybe months or years of their life into maintaining and building that audience, keeping everyone happy, making it feel like a cohesive community. If you think you're just gonna waltz in and just advertise and spam your SaaS, to those groups, then you're probably mistaken. Now, that's not to say you don't already have a good relationship with one or two of them, and maybe with a conversation they say, yeah, no problem, go for it. In which case, amazing, spam away. You've got their what's the word? Not goodwill. You've got their permission. We'll go with permission. That's not the word I was looking for, but we'll go with that, right? But otherwise, right, some people, right, are naturals at building relationships, right? If you're one of these types that are natural at building relationships, and I know a whole bunch of them, if you become a community owner, as I've been in the past, then these people just find you and they will do their best to befriend you, and a portion of them will, right? They're very good at it. If you're that person, then all you've got to do is go use your natural God's gift and go make friends with, let's say you've got 10 communities you're part of, make friends with one or two of them. If you can get one or two of them on board, game over. You just blew your SaaS up, right? Because if you can get the green light to go push your SaaS, I can smell cigarettes. It means somebody above or below. I'm like 50 odd floors up. Somebody above or below is having a cigarette, probably listening to me rant about SaaS. Sorry if you ever watch this. Leave a comment on my thing. Yeah, someone's smoking. Someone's smoking real close. Not smelled that before. Bit off-putting. Right, so if you're natural at building relationships, go build a goddamn relationship. It's as easy as that. One relationship, game over, done. And an active community where the people in that community know, like, and trust the gatekeeper, if you like. Make a relationship with that person. 1 or 2 of the 10, game over. Because what happens is, getting your first 10 customers is harder almost than getting your next 90 customers. Getting to 100 is almost easier than it is getting to 10. And getting to 1,000 is almost easier than it is getting to 100. Because it starts a momentum, it starts a ball rolling. The thing that got you 10 customers will probably on its own get you 20. And then left alone will probably get you 30 and 40. It's just about getting the momentum going. And one of those momentums, the biggest needle mover that can create that momentum, is befriending a gatekeeper. Now, if you can't befriend a gatekeeper, and this could be a YouTube channel owner, it doesn't have to be a community owner. It could be a TikToker, a YouTuber, an IG Reels guy. It could be someone on LinkedIn. Wherever your target market are hanging out, what content are they consuming? What communities are they in? There's gatekeepers that gatekeep that community or that channel or whatever. There's gatekeepers. Go befriend them. If you're one of these naturals, go befriend them. Go make friends with them. Go try and make friends with all 10 communities that you're in, the owners, or 10 YouTube channel guys that you've chatted to in the past, whatever. Go try and make friends with them. If you can do it, great. You just won the game. You're going to get 10 customers, and then you're going to get 20, you're going to get 50, you're going to get 100. You may well get to 3, 4, 500, whatever, right? Game over. But it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to click a button and some AI is going to go do this for you. It's real human beings on a human level making a relationship. Now, if you can't do that, if you're no good at that, that's not my primary skill set. I don't really, like, it doesn't resonate with me that. I don't really like it. I'd much rather go to the pain and suffering of the long-term work of building my own community than go try and kind of weasel into somebody else's. But some people are naturals at it. If you're a natural at it, go do it. Now, for the rest of us that aren't naturals, right, this is what you do. You go to that person and you say, I've built some SaaS. You've got the perfect target market for it. I want to do a deal. And I want to do a deal so good that you'll feel crazy turning it down. Can we chat? I'm not saying use those exact words, but that's essentially what you're going in with. Now, the art of negotiation is that you don't go in like that. But what I'm trying to say is, look, if you can start the snowball rolling, if you can start that momentum, then everything gets a whole lot easier, right? So it's just pushing that massive boulder and getting it to move at first. Get your first 10 customers, and then getting your next 10 will be a lot easier than getting your first 10. And getting your next 10 after that will be a whole lot easier than getting the previous 10. That's just how it works. So beg, borrow, or steal that audience. Go do a deal. If that deal has to be, I will give you a profit share on my entire business, you think of a number. If that influencer, community owner, content creator is an absolute whale, then do the deal. Make it happen. Make it such a good deal for them that it's like there's no point in making their own software almost. They might as well do a deal with you because you've basically gave them ownership over your entire business to get that deal across the line. What that is, 20%, 50%, fountains are starting. 20%, 50%, I should stand here, shouldn't I? 20%, 50%, 75%, I don't care. Like, you don't have to do a deal on the shares of your company. You could say, look, for the next 6 months, I'll give you 75% of all income my SaaS makes, right? And I'm gonna try and get other people to promote it. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'll give you 75% of the income. So essentially you keep 25%, and you might think, that's mad. I'm saying do a deal so good, they'd be idiots to say no. Because if they're a big content creator or a community owner, chances are they've already got lots of deals in their inbox. But people will be trying to say, yeah, promote me for an affiliate commission. And if you can get away with that, you should try that. Definitely start there. Pay them an affiliate commission, 15, 20, 25, 30%. If you can get there and get them across the line and they're a proper influencer, game over, you win. But if not, do a deal so good that they can't say no. You could say 100% of revenue minus 5% processing fees and server fees or something like that. So you'll give them 95% of revenue for the first 6 months if they agree to promote it XYZ, right? Do whatever it takes. That one influencer can change everything for you. Fountains. That one influencer can change everything for you. Community owners, influencers, content creators, people with your niche target market, not just anyone, but if your niche is driving instructors, because you've got some driving instructor SaaS, and someone's got a community with 20,000 driving instructors in it, do a deal good enough that they can't say no. If you don't naturally have the charisma or the persuasiveness to get them to agree to a low fee, go do them a life-changing fee and accept that maybe you don't earn anything for the first 3 months or 6 months, or even if it's got to be 12 months, 12 months. Just do the deal, because what happens is the snowball happens. Other community owners, other influencers see what they're doing with their 20,000 driving instructors. They go, oh, I've got 5,000 driving instructors in my community and he's promoting this software. So it must be good because that guy that's got 20,000 in is promoting it. Wow. So I'm going to promote it, and then all of a sudden you've started a snowball. So now getting 10 customers, going to 50 customers, going to 500 customers becomes almost easy, right? So we talked about a promo method last time. This one is possibly the biggest needle mover if you don't have your own client base or you don't have your own audience to launch to or email list or anything like that. This is probably the easiest, biggest needle mover, and it's what you should absolutely try. Now, I'm actually putting together a brand new thing that's going to teach and help you do all kinds of this stuff. If you're interested in it, comment down below and let me know, just so I can make sure that I let you know first when it's released. But I've got something coming that's gonna cover all bases, not just tickle on stuff. I'm talking copy and paste, do this, do that, click this, click that, solid, intense, start to finish, launch your SaaS, get customers from somebody that's been a digital marketer for 25 plus years and somebody that's done $13 million of SaaS in his spare time and have not worked in it for over 5 years. So it's coming. Watch this space. I'll announce it here first or very, very close to first. So watch this space. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If it helped you, give me a thumbs up. Let's get rid of you being a zero customer SaaS founder. Let's build a real business together, right? Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Webley. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.